This is Dan from the Rebel Gaming Club, and this is Rate My Junk! Alright guys, we have a special episode of Rate My Junk this week. I have a collection right here that was donated to me. It was going to be a lot larger, but when I got to his house, I realized I had about 80% of his collection. But I still managed to walk away with a good chunk of stuff. As you know, we have a guest each week. And I thought I should bring in an expert. Someone that talks about this stuff all the time. So I'm bringing in my buddy, Septum Sin.
Greetings. Well, thanks for having us on. I actually brought in another expert because I don't know everything about everything there. We look forward to actually trying to rate that junk.
Yes. Does a channel called Septum Sin vs. the World. And it's all movie reviews. It's movie pickups. It's upcoming releases. It's a great channel. He just started out, and I enjoy watching it because he gives me information I didn't have. So we're going to have him rate my junk this week. And on top of that, he knows, and you guys know, it's a sliding scale. It's either a 10, which is awesome and perfect, or a 1, which is a real stinker, or somewhere in between. So let's get right to it, guys. My buddy Luke hit me up a couple weeks ago. He told me he's moving to Thailand and I could come over and have his collection of VHS tapes. So I said, alright, let's do this. I get over there, I find out I have about 80% of the stuff. So he lets me just pick through it and take what I want and leave the rest behind, which is super cool of Luke. And it was nice to chat some music with him and catch up a little bit and see what was going on in his life. But I'm going to show you what he gave me, essentially. And I'm very grateful for all this stuff. Septum Sin, let's do this. First up, we got an Alfred Hitchcock film called Frenzy. I've never seen it, but I like Alfred Hitchcock. Snagged it up.
This movie that you mentioned, we actually both have a really cool Hitchcock collection that has this film in it. And it's got 16 films?
Yeah, it's beautiful set.
Strangely enough, no North by Northwest and no Strangers on a Train or Rebecca, whatever. And they made room for Torn Curtain and The Birds. But Frenzy it's one of the lower films on the collection, I think. It's one of Hitch's last films. He did what, like 2, 3 more after that?
Actually, I like the one, the comedy he did.
Yeah, Family Plot, I think, was the last, and that was in that set too. But Frenzy was early 70s. It is definitely a different film. It has far more, you might say, modern language. A lot of language, if I remember correctly. And it's very dark and violent and twisted and very more like the dregs of society almost. Yeah. It wasn't my favorite, but it was interesting as a different Hitchcock film. So it could be fun to watch, especially if you've seen any Hitchcock and you're trying to broaden your base there. It'd be fun. Yeah.
So what would you give that out of 10?
Well, it's a pretty fair get. Especially if you're actively collecting VHS, I would rate it a little higher than for, I'm not, so I normally wouldn't. But I'd say maybe a 7.
Yeah, 7. Good.
We got an Abbott and Costello film, Hold That Ghost. Once again, don't know it. Septum Sin, I'm hoping that you know some of these and that you're able to tell people at home a little bit about these. Because, I was pretty much snagging stuff from my buddy that I'd never heard of or never seen. That's usually how I like to do it. There's a couple in here that I do have in other formats, but I wanted... you'll see. Let's keep going.
Well, I want to say I know a lot about it, but I have not watched a lot of Abbott and Costello. I've watched one episode of their TV series.
That was it?
Yep, one. Yeah, you showed it to me.
Wow.
Now,
you've seen some of the movies.
Now, he's actually seen the whole TV series and maybe a couple of the movies, so maybe you can tell him about
And I tell you what, that TV series, for me, that was one of my 10s. I found the entire 52-episode series for $3 at a local store on DVD. Awesome. But I watched a lot of their movies. I cannot swear to it I've seen Hold That Ghost. But Abbott and Costello movies, they're not high art, but they're a lot of fun. You know, and usually, if you've seen one, you kind of know what you're going to get with all the others. You're going to get Costello kind of Abbott, and you get Abbott being a jerk to him all the time, and you know it's kind of they're fun, and definitely I'd say anytime you can pick one up for free, that counts as a good get. So we'll say 8 out of 10.
We got Howard the Duck. Now I have seen this, and I just got it on DVD, but I did not have it on VHS. And this is definitely the way to watch it, in my opinion, just because that's how I grew up watching it. Septum Sin, Howard the Duck.
Oh, Howard the Duck. No. I know Howard the Duck. Of course, you know, anytime that you try and put a pornographic duck into a movie and then call it, well, I don't think that Lucas called it art, but I have to admit, I love this movie, guilty pleasure of mine, loved it as a child. I have to give that one an 8 out of 10, right there.
We got a film that I've heard a lot about, and that is Metropolis. I know nothing about this other than, well, I'm reading that it was filmed in 1926, released in 27, Germany. I'm assuming this is a silent film. At least I'm hoping. Either way, I've heard about it. It looks cool. I'm sure Septum Sin has seen it.
Well, you know what? We've both seen that one. I think extremely highly of that movie, but since I did the last one, I'm going to throw this one over to Kotobuki Jake.
Yeah. Well, Metropolis is a piece of it's a piece of film history. I mean, it is a big Fritz Lang. It's a story that's been retold a few times. There's a really awesome anime based on it that's worth checking out. It's definitely worth having in the collection. And I think from your picture, it looked like it said it was like a collector's edition or something like that. I'd say that's probably a 10.
Oh, yeah. Well, my agreement on that one.
We got Excalibur. Once again, guilty. I haven't fucking seen any of these. You guys at home, rate my junk with Excalibur in the descriptions down below. In the comments down below. You know what I was fucking talking about. Don't fucking act like you're fucking better than me. We got Logans Run. I've heard about this. A classic sci-fi movie, I do believe. Fuck. That's all I can tell you.
Right there.
We need to work on our coordination.
I can't get it in frame. It just doesn't go there. I love Logan's Run. That was another one of those dystopian sci-fi films that I grew up with. Believe it or not, it got me into poetry because there was a crazy old man who loved cats and quoted T.S. Eliot. And I don't know what it is about that character, but I love him more than any of the other characters in the film. It was a great film. Still to this day holds up. Definitely give it a watch.
Crazy old man that loves cats. I don't see how you could possibly.
I'm a crazy middle-aged man who loves cats. Thank you very much. Oh, and rating 9 out of 10.
We got Pootie Tang. I have seen this. This is a classic. Yeah. This fucking video's going real well.
We gotta go to this. 1, 2, 3. There.
Oh. What?
Wait, no.
What did it? Okay.
Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, there
Okay, you actually... you beat me on that. Yeah, you get that.
I have no idea. I know the name of the movie. I've never honestly had much interest in it. If you enjoyed it before, then more power to you.
There you go.
And me personally, I'd have to go with maybe 5, mainly because you were happy to get it.
Hey, being happy, that's what's important in life.
We got a couple volumes here of TV Nation. You guys know Michael Moore. I was a big fan of this series. I'm a big fan of all Michael Moore's stuff for the most part. I think he's pretty funny and just doesn't give a shit, which I like about him. So yeah, this has a couple episodes and bits from the show. I want to say that I used to have the whole set on DVD. I don't know what happened to it though.
TV Nation, unfortunately, to my knowledge, never got released on DVD. I wish it had, because I would love to have added it to my collection. This is probably what you're looking at. The Awful Truth. Also, excellent. I really like the Michael Moore stuff. If you put his politics aside, depending on who you're at, some of those skits can actually be funny to anybody. Mm-hmm. There was one, I can't remember what it was, about kids going to camp with high caliber weapons. It was something like a assault day camp or something like that. It was interesting, but very tongue in cheek. Mm-hmm. Definitely doesn't care what other people think. Man speaks his mind. Mm-hmm. And if you can get this set, you can get it cheap pretty well. It's a pretty awesome set. Mm-hmm. So more power to you. I envy you on that one. 10 out of 10 right there. I gotta give that down.
We got a classic, Death Wish. Fun fact, Charles Bronson used to live like 30 minutes from me in Woodstock, Vermont. So, Death Wish as a kid growing up, this was it's pretty fucking cool.
Let's do this one. 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh.
You wanted to fail that one.
We're obviously terrible at rock, paper, scissors.
Well, it's because I gotta hold it up here to make it actually do anything. But, I personally really love the Death Wish series. I have seen all 5 films, and I am looking forward to the Bruce Willis adaptation that's coming out pretty soon to theaters. I mean, you can't get much better than that.
It got delayed.
Action. Yeah, it did get delayed. It got it got a lot of bad hype around it because they say, oh, it's racist or all this stuff, but it's not really. If you look at it, it's he's an equal opportunity killing person, and he'll kill and save you no matter what. That's just how he rolls. He'll kill you regardless, just if you're doing the wrong thing.
And everyone knows Bruce Willis is a jerk to everybody. It doesn't matter what your
that's true.
Sorry, Bruce Willis, if you're watching.
If he's watching, then we're definitely doing a good job here. So I give that one 8 out of 10. Awesome movie.
We got The Day of the Triffids. Triffids. I know nothing about this one. 1963. Looks cool, has a great cover.
I actually have seen this one.
I have not.
Any of you actually watch my channel, I love B-movies. And this is the ultimate B-movie. It's right up there with the one with the killer bunnies. And then there's Deathbed. And then there's Frog. And, I mean...
Oh, I'm going to be watching that one soon.
Yeah, well, I gave you that copy so you could see it. So, this... I really want to get a copy for myself. I've actually seen it, but I have not owned a copy. I envy you that copy, and for that, 7 out of 10 right there.
We got John Carpenter's The Fog. Classic. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Actually, there's no actual playing for this one. I have the steel cred for this one.
Yeah.
I actually have the limited steel book, 10,000 copies of it. The Fog, awesome. It's like John Carpenter made a Scooby-Doo movie. I mean, you've got ghost pirates. You can't get much more awesome than that. It's like
Does
two
it
of
have
my
meddling kids.
It does. It has some meddling kids in it. Yeah,
good.
And I mean, it combines two items. I mean, some Scooby Doo, a little bit of the Garfield Halloween special that had Ghost Pirates in it too.
Yes, it did.
It scared the crap out of me as a kid. And I have an awesome John Carpenter collection. Love John Carpenter. Love his work. A little bit campy at times, except for The Thing. That was freaking awesome.
I veered toward campy.
Yeah, well, not at the time it came out.
True.
So, for this lovely film, giving it 8 out of 10.
We got Lucky Luke. Now, this is a full-length animated feature, guys. And, fun fact, there's a video game on the PS1 for Lucky Luke. I did not realize it was a cartoon until my buddy Luke actually had this.
Well, I saw an episode of it back at one point in time in my life, and it was a show that was probably animated, and it must not have been super excellent because I don't remember other than the fact that I watched it. So, breakfast cereal time. Get some breakfast cereal, get on the couch, get some milk. Maybe 6 out of 10.
Next up, we got Ladyhawk. I know nothing about this, but I've heard good things, and I think it's the soundtrack that's supposed to be incredible for this movie. Septum Sin, you must know this one.
Actually, with Ladyhawk, great film. I have it on DVD. It's just kind of a nondescript copy, so I didn't bring it. But it's a fantasy staple. I love D&D. I admit I'm a D&D nerd. At least, was. I don't play it much these days. But that sort of thing fit right into it. That, Hawk the Slayer, Dragon Killer, whatever the heck it was called, Dragon Knight, Dragon something. And it was Dragon something.
I thought you were going for Dragon Half.
Not Dragon Half, and not Dragon Heart either. That's a Sean Connery film. But yeah, those films, staple of the day. Great fantasy film. A little bit slow for the modern audiences, but if you like those types of fantasy films, you'll enjoy it. 7 out of 10, right out.
We got Shark Attack 2. Long before Sharknado, we had shit like this. Shark Attack 2. Now, if I could just find Shark Attack 1, it'd be all set.
And...
Oh.
All right, rock, crosses, scissors.
Okay,
all right.
Cool. Shark Attack 2, huh?
Yep.
Well, I'm not sure that I know anything at all about that one.
Hey, I love Killer Shark.
If it's at least as good as... What?
Love Killer Shark movies, you guys.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, geez. I mean, if it's even half as good as, let's say, Jaws 2, you might have something there. If it's Jaws 3, though, you might as well put something else on.
Deep Blue Sea.
I think I did see that. That wasn't very well worth watching either. So, give it a try. If it sucks like Jaws 3, put on Sharknado, But I'd say it's an odd left field find. That's worth at least a 4.
And the last one, guys, from this lot right here was one that I was really happy to pick up from Luke. And that is a film that I watched while in the River City Rebels. A lot of the stuff is tied to the band, and those are the experiences we were having because we were just sharing all the knowledge that we had with each other. And one of my bandmates loved this film. This is a Jim Jarmusch film, and that is Down by Law. This features Tom Waits, and this is black and white. It's very slow moving. It's reminiscent of the movie Clerks, in the sense that it's black and white and that the pace is real slow. There's a lot of good humor, but the more you watch it, the more you pick up on it. So yeah, this is the last one. If you guys don't know this film, you should try to hunt it down. It's well worth it. And Septum Sin, I'm hoping you know this movie.
I do not know this movie, but I want to find it now. I gotta find it after that. I mean, that sounds like an awesome reference. But you're at least familiar with the guy's work, so...
Yeah, I have to admit, I've not seen that either, but I do know the name of the movie. But I've seen some of Jarmusch's films, and Coffee and Cigarettes is the one that jumps to mind. If you're talking a slow-moving, black and white, it's an anthology film, you know. I thought it was pretty good. I want to say he's the same guy that did Broken Flowers, too, and that was a pretty good movie.
Broken Flowers.
And then last night I saw a slow-moving black and white film that has been compared to Jim Jarmusch. It's a strange Farsi language vampire film called A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Ooh, like that.
Very interesting and artsy. And from what I understand, this should be in the same vein. I do need to see that. And definitely props to you for getting it for free. And I'm not even sure if that one... I need to see if that's in print, because it seems like it's possible it wouldn't be.
Well, that's possible.
If it's not in print in DVD, then you definitely got to get.
Oh, yeah.
But either way, I would say that's at least a 9. Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys, this is going to wrap up this special episode of Rate My Junk. I want to thank Septum Sin vs. the World for being part of this. And to Luke for hooking it up. Good luck in Thailand. And yeah, your tapes have found a good home. Next week, I'm not sure who our guest is going to be. But we're going to find someone special, I'm sure. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, and rate my junk.